Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of It's About Time. I know it's been a little while since we've done a fresh new episode, so we decided to do one now as my partner is just adjusting the camera. Welcome to the new outdoor space at Casa de Sharpe. We just had Taco Wednesday because we just had the patio furniture delivered. This is all new stuff. Gave them the grand old tour. What'd you guys think today?
I thought it was fantastic. We're going to have some brilliant episodes out here, especially when it's a little lighter and you can actually see this beauty that is
I know. Well,
in the background.
wait till you guys really see it. I mean, you guys can't see a patio now, but we'll do that on another episode when it's really a lot lighter out. But anyways, before we start the episode, of course, customary, what's on the wrist? I am wearing my Citizen Echo Drive Atomic Timekeeping watch. I love it. It's amazing. It's just a little bit large on my wrist. I have to be honest. At 42.5 millimeters. But it's a very, very nice piece. I love it. Extremely accurate, keeping great time. Of course, I never have to reset it. It's the perpetual calendar too, which is cool.
Very low maintenance.
Yeah.
What I have, I'm bringing this one back out. I haven't worn it in a while. My Rado Integral Ceramic.
It's the automatic, of course.
It's the automatic.
Okay. How long are you wearing it for?
I've been wearing this this is my second day.
Okay. Will you be wearing it through the end of the week?
Yeah, I'll be having this on pretty much the whole week.
Okay.
And what I love about it, and what people do love about Rados, number one, the curved crystal face, which goes right along. It's more like a bracelet than a watch, and it's very light, and it's very durable. So, as we all know with ceramic, it doesn't scratch. It may shatter if you hit it the wrong way, but it doesn't scratch. A lot like a sapphire crystal. It can shatter, but it's not going to scratch.
Well, sapphire crystal is scratch resistant.
Correct.
But it can shatter.
That's right. That's what I just said.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Maybe I wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention.
Anyway, the big debate.
I'm admiring my patio.
I know. Just keep your dick down. That's it. Zip it up.
Yeah, sorry.
So basically, tonight's episode is going to be on the grand debate of the Grand Seiko. I referenced this in my Breitling watch review last time, that we would be having an episode on the Grand Seiko.
Oh, really?
And so yes, we are having, this is the episode on the Grand Seiko. So it does play into the hand perfectly. And I know Jared knows a lot about these watches.
I do.
So,
well, not only that, not only do I know a lot about those watches, but I also know a lot about watches that are compared to it. So, yeah.
So, what is... Now, we all know, if you don't know about the Grand Seiko is what Lexus is to Toyota. That's basically the best way I can put it. It's what Infinity is to Honda. It's that type of thing. It's their deluxe version of their Seiko watch. And we know most Seiko watches go anywhere between $30 and $300. And it's just a mix of zeros.
Well,
that's basically what we're talking about, 1 and 2 zeros behind it.
What happened was this, right? So Grand Seiko has been coming up a lot in recent years. And just recently, this past year, they announced that they were splitting from Seiko, right? So now, when most other companies are being bought up now and purchased out and are slumping with sales and doing everything, Grand Seiko is actually going in the opposite direction, and they're going on a steady incline. Getting new client base, creating new, extremely innovative products, and they've created a new league, like a niche for themselves, if you will. And what they've done is very impressive. Now, the first company to ever come out with a quartz watch was Seiko. So, they're the ones, it's kind of like what a Rolex movement is to Rolex. A Seiko movement is to Seiko. If that makes any sense, Rolex is the best at what they do, and it's true. Their movements are rated to +2, -2 a day. No one else in the industry does that. And Seiko, they do it to I think 10 seconds a year or 5 seconds a year. I mean, which is really the best of the industry, just about, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Seiko, as well as we all know, it's widely regarded as one of the best quartz watches in the industry, if not the best.
Between the Grand Seiko and the Citizen watches, absolutely. They
They've
are
cornered the
hands
market.
down the best quartz watches.
Absolutely.
Because now again, it's
They're
like
so big too.
Drew and I were talking about. No one else really wants to get into that space, really.
No.
It's a little bit of dangerous territory.
And here's the reason, okay? Because you put too many zeros behind that, then people start thinking just like I do. They go, why? And you wonder what Grand Seiko's usually called.
Let's get into the debate portion of it and saying, like, maybe you make a point and I'll back it up with a valid,
Okay.
whatever it is.
So, as we all know, when you're in the market for watches, the average customer does not want to pay over $300 for a watch.
That could even be a lot to a
and
lot
that's
of people
on the
nowadays.
high end, okay? So I'm probably, it should even be lower than that.
Yeah,
But let's
maybe like
stick at
150, 200.
Let's go 2. Let's say
Yeah,
the number
2.
is 2, okay? So most people spend between 1 and 2 zeros after the 2 for their Seiko watches. Okay, now when you add another 0 onto that, now you're at $2,000. Then people start thinking to themselves, which is what these Grand Seikos
I
are
actually
in the
just
market
thought of a point to say to you with that.
What's that?
Okay? There's two things, right? Think about Audemars Piguet, Hublot, Zenith, Rolex,
JLT.
Vacheron Constantin, Gigi Lecoultre. Think about all these brands, right? Okay? There's only a particular market for them.
Correct.
Okay? That's what Grand Seiko has done. Now, they've included the greatest technology that's ever been seen in a quartz watch, minus the atomic timekeeping. It's a different story. But we're going to throw this one out there. Just going to throw this one out there, okay? It's $2,000, $2,200. I'm going to
Let's
say
even it out to
2,000. Okay? You get the most advanced quartz movement in the world. Let's say that. So that's point number 1 I'm going to say. Number 2, it is adjustable. It is actually thermocompensated, which a lot of quartz watches aren't. Now it's also comparative to the, let's say, vintage Rolex, because a lot of Rolexes nowadays, they do make 36 Rolexes. I shouldn't say vintage, because they do make 36s. Now a 36 millimeter, okay, same thing, stainless steel, Rolex. How much does that cost?
A vintage, what year?
No, a new Rolex,
A new
Oyster
Rolex.
Perpetual date. How much does it cost retail?
About $8,500.
$6,600 for a 36 millimeter case. Now the Grand Seiko is 37 millimeter, and it's a nice watch. You could use it, for like literally anything. You could do it's like a Rolex. You could do yard work in it. You can go diving in it. It has a instead of doing a screw down crown, they have a semi-recessed crown. So, and when you pull on the crown, really doesn't come out very easily. It's one of those ones where you don't have to like yank it out, but a little bit of pressure has to be applied to it. But how often are you going to reset it? Once when you change the battery, and that's it. And the battery life on it, I think, is about 45 to 48 months, which is actually standard for a lot of batteries nowadays, which is relatively impressive. It used to be about 2 years. So you get a nice 37 millimeter case, nice white dial. The other thing that they did was, if you guys research watches, okay, a lot of quartz watches and a lot of automatics too, their minute hands don't extend all the way out to the minute track. True. Do you know why that is? I'm going to see if you know.
Because the movements probably can't handle it.
Correct. Exactly. The movements are not strong enough to the point where they're creating enough, inertia, whatever you want to call it,
Gets too heavy.
Way too heavy. So what they did was they added in another motor to help power the minute hand, which is interesting.
So and these are all advancements in the quartz watch field.
It's a technological thing. Now,
here's the problem. Now, here's where you counter it, okay? Because I'm gonna channel my inner Ashley right now, okay? Why do I care? This is what a skeptic would say.
Wave high.
Oh shit!
They may see us.
There goes Adam on another date. Anyway, Okay. So anyway, yeah. Why do I care? Because why am I paying $2,000 for them to have an extra motor in a quartz watch that all I need to do is to tell time? Why is that worth $2,000?
Oh, Okay, I'm going to say this. If you go online, and let's just say you resell a Grand Seiko, the newer model, because, you know, they came out with newer models for the... no, they come out once every, you know, couple of years, 2-3 years. So the retail price is around $2,000. How much do you think they resell for, even pre-owned?
1,300.
About 15.
13 to 15.
Yeah.
Get the $200 window.
Right. So, in reality, you're taking about, you know, a $500 hit, give or take a little bit. Now, why do you care?
Why would I pay $2,000 for a motor for an extra second hand to be a millimeter longer? That would be Asher's question.
That's part of what's in the watch, but now you have to think about this. There's no other watch in its class that is that size of 37 millimeters. Some people nowadays don't want that because they obviously like the 40 to 42 or 44 millimeter
Which is
size.
pretty much the standard size in the industry now, is 42.
Right. Now, if you have an everyday watch, you know, a 37 to like even a 36 millimeter, that's what Rolex used to be, and they still sell 36 millimeter. It's actually extremely comfortable on the wrist. You get a watch that is extremely accurate. You actually never have to reset it, depending on how you like your accuracy, of course. The only time you have to reset it is when you change the battery, when the battery goes dead. So there's really, you know, no changing with it. Is it a perpetual calendar? No. That's one of the things that would have been nice for them to add in, especially at that price point, would have been a perpetual calendar. That's one of the things that I would say that I would have changed differently about that watch. But in general, you have a nice, you know, all steel look. You know, would I have included gold? I think it would have hiked the price up more if there was gold in it.
I think their main problem at the price point of $2,000 is the fact then people start thinking, when you think of $2,000, $3,000, you don't start thinking about Seiko. You think about Rolex. You think about other brands. Would
Vintage.
I rather have...
Vintage.
Or, yeah, or a used one, or a pre-owned one. Would I rather have a Rolex, or would I rather have a Seiko at $2,000, $3,000? And especially if you can get a Rolex at a good price or something like that, or an Omega, or any of these other high-end brands.
Now, well, I mean, you know, that is actually something, you know, that's interesting. I mean, and it's not a bad point that Drew is making. Now I'm gonna pull something up interesting for you. I'm gonna let Drew talk on a few more of his points. I'm gonna bring something up for him that I want to see what he thinks is more of value.
Okay.
So,
well, basically, another point that people would say about Grand Seikos that they don't like is the fact that at the end of the day, guys, no matter how many zeros you put behind this thing, it's a quartz watch. Okay? It's a quartz watch. It's going to die. At some point, this movement is going to die, and you're going to have to replace the movement. Anything electronic, I was talking with a watchmaker, one of my watchmakers the other day.
We'll have an episode with him, by the way.
Yes, Matt, great guy. And
Very
he was
smart.
saying, you know, at the end of the day, whether it's an Apple Watch or a Seiko watch, they're all electronics. Electronics die. They are built
Now,
to die. And he's correct.
To the point of that, I will say this, because Drew knows me very well. I am such a stickler when it comes to accuracy. It's not, like, if I could get a watch that's going to perform to, like, 5 or 10 seconds a year, oh my God, like, bring it on. I mean, to me...
Like Dave's.
Give or take.
But, I mean, the thing about Grand Seiko, just like any other quartz watch, I personally can't buy anything that is quartz that is over $300. To me, personally, it doesn't make sense because the watch is not worth it. When you're dealing with automatics, you're dealing with complications, you're dealing with all these other things, it's a whole different industry. It's all about what's inside. It's all about the engine. The engine can only be so good in a quartz watch.
I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit and actually ask him something, right? All right, so take a look at that.
The Omega Constellation is what I'm looking at right now.
What does it say underneath that?
Does it say underneath it? Perpetual calendar.
What does that mean? Do you know or no?
For accuracy standards?
No. Do you know what a perpetual calendar is or no?
A perpetual calendar, inform me.
Okay, so a perpetual calendar meaning that it adjusts for the 30 and 31 days. And I think even the 28 days too. Means you don't have to reset the date on it.
How?
Correct. So
all
like
right,
on
so
your Concourse, for
what
instance, right?
Let's see what the audience would be saying to this. How does it know to go to 30 to 31 if it doesn't know what month it is?
It has it built into its motor.
But how do
It's
we know
programmed in?
How do we know what month it is? How do we know what month it's built to?
Literally, it's just that's the watch's job. That's why perpetual calendars are usually a little bit more expensive, and that's why I'm saying I'm surprised Grand Seiko didn't put that in, because perpetual calendars, if it goes from 31 to 30 days, it'll account for it.
No, I understand.
I think actually I should say February is the only month where you do have to make the adjustment. It's just once a year. After that, you go right to because remember, it's rotating between 30, 31, 30, 31. It knows it.
It is very interesting because, especially with that type of design.
This is brand new without tags or whatever it is. Okay? Brand new without tags. That's the Omega, whatever it is. I think the screen may have went off, so I'll just bring it up one more time. That's it. How much? This is a quartz. It's not an automatic. How much would you pay for this?
It's all straight steel, correct?
Straight steel. Correct. Perpetual calendar. I think it's 38 millimeter or something like that. I believe. I can check the specs.
Probably. How much would I pay for it, or how much do I think it's worth?
How much would you pay for it, and how much would you think it's worth?
That probably retails for, I'd say about 2,700.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay. Probably retails. I might guess.
How much would you pay for it?
It's a quartz, right?
Mm-hmm. Perpetual calendar. It's got.
No, I have to factor in.
Does it have 100? I don't know if it has 100 meters of water.
I have to factor in the brand.
Oh yeah, 100 meters of water resistance.
So it's
an Omega.
ATM.
It's a double eagle.
Double eagle, but it's straight steel, no gold. And
it's a thermo-compensated quartz perpetual calendar movement with rhodium-plated finish and a battery life indicator. 48 months of battery life, 38 millimeters, anti-reflective, scratch-resistant sapphire crystal. I'm talking so fast right now. I'm sorry. 100 meters of water resistance. Okay, so this is as complete of a quartz package
as you can find. Yeah.
So how much would you pay for it? No, but by the way, no box, no papers with this one.
Yeah. Me personally, I go buy it used, and then I wouldn't pay. I pay around $1,000 because you're getting it used. Never buy new.
They don't have any of these new.
Well, they will. I mean, that's used.
No, it's brand new.
Oh, well, they don't have been used yet. Yeah, but they eventually will. So
this one has been discontinued for a while.
It's a tough model to find. He's right.
Okay. So how much would you pay for it?
If I had to go for a quartz watch, you mean?
Yeah.
You know I'm not a fan of them.
Yeah.
God, I hate going over that $1,000 mark.
You have a perpetual calendar, 100 meters of water resistance. I mean, it's really a thermo-compensated movement.
Yeah, I still
hate
going over it. I know.
Okay. So
even though I love the brand.
So what would you pay for it?
1,000.
1,000.
If you had to tell me to guess where I would be on that, would be about 1,000.
1,000. Okay.
Only because of the name brand recognition. It's a quartz watch, so my value to me is about 300, like I just told you, even with everything in it. But the brand brings it up another 700 because of Omega's history. It's Swiss, and you got the tradition, the history, and the holy achievements.
So I'm going to ask you this question. Okay, what do you think is better value? Something like the Omega Constellation or the Grand Seiko?
Oh, Omega. I would go definitely. If you had to give me the choice between the Grand Constellation and that Omega, Omega any day of the week. And guys, feel free to either disagree or agree with me on that. Write down, comment
on
this episode which one you would do.
I'm going to throw out my 2 cents, and I'm going to say I absolutely agree with Drew on that one. When I saw this one, I was like, wow. First of all, 38 millimeter case size is a nice size.
No, it's beautiful size.
Okay, very, very, very comfortable. But you know the difference, really? Okay, maybe it's not as accurate as the Grand Seiko. Whatever.
Perhaps not.
You get a perpetual calendar movement. Now, this one is actually priced around $1,700.
Okay, even less than I thought.
Not terrible. Now, no box, no papers, but it's brand new, whatever it is. But you got the 10 ATM. You could bring it around the water, not a problem.
Yep.
It has the perpetual calendar, so you don't have to reset the watch.
Yep.
It's a quartz movement, very accurate, but it's also thermo-compensated. And again, you get the name and it's the double eagle.
Yep.
So, is it a better package? Oh my God! Any day
Much
of the
better.
week.
And you see me, and I just told you I wouldn't go over 3, and I'd go over 1,000 because of the name of Omega.
Now, do you think it's worth that price point at 16 or 1700?
No, I think it should be around the 12, 1300.
13.
Yeah.
By the way, it's not a make it all.
Or it's a make it
But,
offer.
you know, it's just, to me, I agree with you. Grand Seiko, if they added a perpetual calendar to their movement, I would have said, okay, I can see now you're playing a little bit of ball. But because they didn't do that, I think it takes away a little bit from...
It does, because
from the
Seiko
watch.
doesn't carry the name that Omega does that you just showed me. Okay, it doesn't carry the name that when we were talking about this earlier. When
And by the way,
Rolex-
probably a lot easier in case you have a problem with the movement. You could take care of it with Seiko. You have to send it to Seiko because they're the only ones that make
Grand
the movement.
Seiko. Yeah, not even
Grand
Seiko
Seiko.
anymore because they're a
the
separate
ones that
company.
make the movement.
So-
Omega, they would use a standard movement.
Yeah, exactly. And you got
It would be expensive.
yeah. And
but-
Rolex came out with the oyster quartz back in the 70s and the early 80s, and we were just talking about that before.
Yeah, it's
It
the
holds value.
It's the 50-35 movement, and I believe the 50-50 or 50-55 movements. I believe.
Just like that, Omega's
The
going to hold
50-35
value.
is just the date. The 50-55, I think, is the date. I
Right.
believe.
So you got that is going to hold value, just because
It'll hold
Omega.
decent.
It'll hold
It'll hold
decent,
decent.
but after it takes the initial hit, which we've talked about in previous episodes, it will hold its value.
It'll stay there.
It'll stay there.
Mhm.
Rolex is probably they still drift up. I mean, it's amazing. Even the oyster quartzes that we've seen drift
Yeah,
up.
but you know what the problem with the oyster quartz
they're a
is
lot
that I'm
older.
learning? They come into a lot more maintenance with them. I mean, they're
lot older.
they're made to be as watches for life. But you know what though? If I had to take a pick between the Omega, the Grand Seiko, and the oyster quartz,
I go with the Omega.
absolutely, absolutely.
It's nice design. It's got everything you'd want in a quartz watch, and it's a beast. I mean, basically, if you knock it around all day long, you're not going to have any problem with it.
Correct.
But that's basically the debate on Grand Seiko. Do you get a whole lot for that price point? To me,
They could have added more in. They
one
could have
too many
added more.
zeros for me, guys. I would have stopped at 300. I think they make good watches. Some of the best in the industry. Them and Citizen when it comes to quartz. Especially when like Jared has on, he has got the radio controlled atomic clock.
It's just,
got everything.
again, the
But-
problem is it's a little large for my wrist.
Right,
A
and so
little
for somebody
bit,
who wants that
yes.
smaller option, they get it.
And like 38 millimeters is anywhere between 36 to 40. Like Dave just bought the 39 millimeter Oris
30,
divers. So 39. It shows a 39.
39, yes.
That's a great size. I mean, you could wear that to do like you look for a watch to do yard work or whatever it is. Like if I did work around here, no problem.
Nope. And that's what makes things a lot of fun when you deal with sizes and different types of watches. It's what fits your wrist. Everybody's wrist is a different size.
Exactly. Don't go by. Everyone says 42 and 44 millimeter nowadays.
Just standard.
If your watch if your wrist doesn't accommodate for it, don't go with it.
And realize that 30 years ago, the standard size was 36.
Yeah. For
Okay?
men.
And guys' wrists weren't any larger back then than they are today. Okay? It's just different
My next
people.
question: would you prefer a 36 to a 38 millimeter, or like a 42 to 44 millimeter?
Depending what type of watch I'm wearing. Because again, you can't measure that when you're measuring a tank watch. Totally different
That's true.
spectrum. If I'm going with a diver,
But it looks comfortable.
oh,
it looks really
one of my most
comfortable.
comfortable that I own.
Yeah.
But when
You got
you're,
some nice movement on it just now.
I know, isn't that nice? But when I'm dealing with like a diver's watch, or I'm dealing with a multi-function watch, maybe I want it a little bit bigger because I want to see the functions. Maybe I want a 42 because if I'm dealing
I'm
with
saying if you're just dealing with a date,
just a regular day,
difference?
I'd rather have it more around 38. It's a little more comfortable for me because I have a smaller wrist. But other people I know have a much wider wrist and they need that 42 because they have to see it. Maybe their eyesight isn't as good. Maybe
Sure.
they want a bigger wrist. And if you're really in that Invicta class, which is like the 60 millimeter, which is just totally ridiculous, I just don't relate with you at all. So, but that's basically what our episode has been on tonight, was the
Guys,
debate of
listen,
the Grand Seiko.
don't forget, like, subscribe, email, do anything that you want, whatever it is. We're totally open for everything. Sorry it's been a little while since we've done.
Yeah, and stay tuned in October. I think it's October 14th. We got the Watch Show of Watch Shows that we are going to.
Watch
What is that
Time New
sucker
York-
called?
it's
Watch
called,
Time.
Yeah, it's gonna be Watch Time in New York City.
How many brands are coming? 60?
No, it's I think 28. I think.
28 brands? 28 brands.
This is going to be a little bit more advanced. Not as much history as with the Patek Philippe
No.
thing, but this is going to be like, you're going to be able to try on like $300,000
You're going to
watches.
see us, trying on these multi-$100,000 watches.
Oh, trust me, we're going to be
we are
interviewing
going
the
to,
brands.
yes, and we are going to be trying them on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to try.
You can't go there and not do that.
No.
You can't do it. No,
It's
do that.
like going to the Queen's castle and not sipping from the
chalice.
The chalice, exactly.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
we are going to try in every single thing we possibly
We're going to be there
can.
for a whole day. Oh, and our good buddy Dave.
Dave will be back with us with his new Oris.
Correct.
Congratulations again, Dave. He is an
October
Oris
14th.
man.
That's like right around the corner. I can't
I'm
believe it.
telling you, it's September 27th.
And then maybe
now.
we'll have a Halloween party back here and we'll do another episode.
You got it. Sounds good. And we will see you next time on another episode of It's About Time.